What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please like, subscribe if you haven't. Wow. Okay. James Harden must have listened and heard all the criticism, and he decided to show the hell up. I mean, what a big win for the Clippers. I mean, definitely the Nuggets. A lot of people were talking about them the last couple weeks about them being back into, championship form. And I definitely thought they were for like a few weeks there, especially coming out the All-Star break. They looked pretty strong, and they let a few go these last couple games. But, gotta see how it goes in the playoffs. I definitely think we can beat them because last night we didn't have, Kawhi Leonard. Paul George stepped up, very well, poured in 28 points, kind of just pushed the fact and kept it going. Didn't really let up any. I like the way he kind of had the mindset of, we have to try to win. It was definitely a close game, 102-100. And then, really, not even really Paul George, but James Harden scored 20 plus points. He scored 20 points in the game. I mean, I feel like it's almost a blessing that he scored 20 points in the game. I feel like it's been so long since he's done that. I felt like it was never going to happen again this season or something, the way it was going. He scored 20. I think he had 8 assists, I believe, or 6 assists somewhere in there. He played good. They had like 5 or 6. They had like 6 players in double figures. Norman Powell had 11. I think Westbrook had 12. They could get a little bit more out of Terrence Mann, but, Terrence Mann, I think he only played like 17 minutes. He didn't really play that long. He didn't play like 30-something minutes as usual. They went with P.J. Tucker. He played like 17, 18 minutes with no points. But at the same time, either way, the P.J. Tucker thing, I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of on the fence with that one. I mean, I'm not really the biggest fan of P.J. Tucker. I don't really dislike him, but I don't really know if he really helps the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he gives a little physicality. He played a little physical last night a little bit, which is kind of what you need because you miss Kawhi Leonard's defense. You miss Kawhi Leonard's like way of like dominating and the way he comes out and, plays. But, to me, P.J. Tucker is not really the type of guy to me that, they really can utilize a lot. I mean, he is a different body to throw in there. I'll give him that. But I don't know if he's the type of, player they really want to keep utilizing a lot. I think that's just more of an experiment thing with Ty Lue. And I think, he might be experimenting, with him a little bit too much, especially after the All-Star break. It was a little bit too much experimenting to me in my mind. But, I mean, either way, it worked out because they needed that win because right now the way the seeding is, the 4th seed, the 5th seed, it's like one game apart. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, you got... it's not like they got like a separation or a gap or anything like that, like in between. And see, that's the problem where the Clippers are right now. They don't really have that gap in between. So it's like they have to kind of make up for, all this by getting like damn near almost went out. And that's the thing. Like if they could have rested, Kawhi and PG a little bit more instead of like going so hard right now and kind of like kept the position they were in early in the season, maybe not the 1 seed when they got that high, but maybe like keep between the 1st and the 3rd seed, they could have kept right in there. They already have a playoff spot like marked out for them. They already be in the playoffs now. So then they can kind of like coast through the season and not really play as hard and kind of like, still win games, of course, but not like put so much pressure on yourself where you got to win these games. Otherwise, you might fall to the damn, 6 or 7 seed by accident because these other teams are starting to play a lot better. Even Phoenix is starting to play a lot better. So the fact that James Harden, decided to play better last night, even though, it's just one game and all that, the fact that he actually, chipped in on how I feel like he's supposed to, more often than not. And it could have been due because of the fact that Kawhi wasn't there. He felt more of a need to step up and play better. Because sometimes when you have a lot of those players on your team, when you have 4 superstars or 4 Hall of Famers, sometimes a few of them might just lag off because they be like, oh, I ain't got to do so much because we got so much help. But then when their back's against the wall, that's when some players just pick up and play a lot better. I never really understood that notion, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. And that obviously that's the way that situation went because James Harden he must have heard me the other day on my video about him not scoring 20 plus points in 12 games. So he didn't want to make it 13 games. So I guess so. Kudos to him for that. Kudos to the Clippers for getting a big win. It definitely was a big win for them against a team like Denver. And regardless of how it came, it's a win is a win. You got to take it because, like I said, they don't want to fall no 6 seed and 7 seed because they're only like 1 or 2 games out of the 6 or 7 seed. And that's very, very like impossible to me sometimes when I think about it from where the Clippers were prior to the All-Star break. It's like they should have a playoff spot locked in by now. But, I mean, they put themselves in this position. Now they got to fight their way all the way to the end because Dallas is probably like the hottest team in the league right now. And it doesn't look like they're turning it down anytime soon. And it looks like possibly it might be another matchup with Dallas. And I just don't – I think the Clippers can win it, of course, but I just don't want the Clippers to really be going a game like 7 games with any team in the first round. I prefer them to get a matchup more favorable, of course, where they can go 5 games, maybe 6 games the most. That 7 games, that 7 game going game 7, anything can happen in a game 7. I just don't like the feeling of that. I never do, never did. I mean, you want to make it as easy as possible as you can, but I understand that's just might be the way it is. Maybe they're just meant to play Dallas the first round every year they go into the playoffs. I don't know. At least it just seems that way. But it's going to be tough, if they have to play them because it's like, damn, Luka's a handful. Kyrie is a handful. And it's like, damn, like you're putting yourself in position to go 7 games and wear yourself down in the first round when you got 3 other rounds to go. That's just, that's just an uphill battle. But, we already talked about that. We'll say that for another day if we need to elaborate on it more. But once again, big win. Glad, the guys stepped up the way they were supposed to. Even Zubac had like 15 and 14, which was huge for them. That 14 rebounds, that's what we need to see out of Zubac. 14 rebounds, 12 to 14 points a game. That's what he needs to be every single night. He needs to crash the boards like that. And the little things like that is what made a difference in the game. It may not show up on the stat sheet, but him having that 15 and 14 rebounds, that really was a big part, an integral part of them winning this game. It doesn't show up on the stat sheet. I get it. But what I'm saying is if he consistently gave 12 to 13 rebounds a game with 12 points, 12 and 12 somewhere in there, or 11 and 13 somewhere in there, the Clippers will be a lot better defensively, or at least defensively in regards to getting the rebounds and getting extra boards. Crashing the boards is huge for the Clippers because they play small ball. So the fact they play small ball, all the rebounds, all the extra possessions they get is so crucial for them because that's extra possessions. They can take another 3 since they like to shoot threes, or get another possession to score again, and giving them second chance opportunities, the Clippers can hurt you. So it's like that's very, very crucial to their success. Hopefully that keeps going and just go from there.